A sailor in the sea of truth, 3 radical faith shifts. 30 years ago, in front of the Britannica Encyclopedia, I remember that overwhelming fear. The intellectual shock regarding the dating of the Book of Daniel was the first crack in the wall of literalism I was trying to protect. But looking back, it was the beginning of God breaking my theological boxes and inviting me into a wider sea of life. My faith now has been shaped through 3 decisive conversions. The first conversion, from the prison of the law to the gospel of liberation, 2014. Groaning under the limits of knowledge, I met people like Paul Ellis and Steve McVeigh and encountered God again not as a fearful judge, but as an infinite source of grace. The thick wall of legalism collapsed, and in its place, the foundation of a life lived only by grace was laid. It was more than intellectual agreement. It was the first event where my soul finally began to breathe before the gospel. The second conversion, from personal salvation to God's providence, 2015-2024. During my ministry at New Hope Church in Seoul, through N.T. Wright and Dr. Seyoon Kim, I saw the grand providence of the kingdom of God beyond personal salvation. My perspective expanded from the individual to the world and the community, as I realized why the church is called to be God's new people. The third conversion, from abstract theology to the wilderness of daily life, 2025 present. After resigning, I stood in the wilderness again. Through Marcus Borg and Dominic Crossan, I encountered John Walton's locutionary intent. I realized this journey was not merely academic. While gripping the steering wheel of a daycare van, asking myself, what am I really doing here? Amidst the barren reality of daily life, it became an existential encounter. I began to make the desperate prayers of biblical figures my own. Theology is no longer an abstraction, but the language I use to converse with God in my wilderness today. Standing in the wilderness, forming new nodes. Just as bamboo breaks easily in the wind if it grows without forming nodes, my past 30 years have been spiritual nodes permitted by God. Now I am making nodes again in a new wilderness called Sea of Life Church. I am leaving behind a Bible trapped in the prison of facts and sailing the sea of truth where God meets me right here and now. The God whom Moses met at Mount Horeb and Apostle Paul met at Damascus is here with me now in front of the steering wheel. All my past studies and encounters were preparations to deepen the encounter I have with God in this wilderness today. Now standing in the ranks of seekers, I wish to move beyond the walls of old doctrines and invite more people to join me in this sea of life.